And 3 days from now, 400,000 will be nothing.
All right, and how many flips did it take you?
I think 14, but I'm not sure.
Do you feel like you'd have an advantage against Phil these days, or is he just a complete crusher?
It is day 3 of the World Series of Poker main event. The stacks are building and the players remaining are falling. Let's go chat with some of the players as they unbag.
Eric, you've played a lot of main events. Could this be the one?
I mean, I think we're a little bit far from that, but it's nice to be in there, and crazier things have happened.
Jeff's made day 3. How many chips are you coming into?
144,000.
Okay, so that's plenty to play with. How's your first day? Has been going nice and easy? The table been going well?
It's a very difficult table draws the first 2 days, and that's changed. Today's going to be a great day.
How many chips are you coming into today?
400,000.
That's a lot of chips. It looks like you've had a good first day, 1 and 2. How's the table looking for day 3?
I honestly didn't look it up. And 3 days from now, 400,000 will be nothing. Maybe not a big blind. There's a long way to go.
It looks like you have a decent chips stack. How much are we on?
I have 368, so that is good.
The first couple of days gone well for you then, or any tough spots?
I don't know. I played for an hour day 1. I bagged like half starting stack, and then day 2 just was super smooth and went from 33 to 360. So no complaints.
Looks like you got an amazing stack to start day 3. How's it been going?
So far, so good. I mean, got good hands, got good table draws. People folded at the right times. Everything's going fine. Wonderful.
We was remembering what the other Maria said the other day, that this could be the year that a lady wins. How are you feeling? You feeling confident?
Yeah, I feel really good. I've been here before. I've had a few deep runs in the main, so I think I understand how to navigate this tournament. So, regardless of whether I have a lot of chips or a little, I always try to just play my best, make good decisions, and stay optimistic.
We're nowhere near getting in the money.
That is very true.
We have to play at least 15 or 16 hours. So you got to sit there and behave and be a good poker player all day.
Perfect. Okay, well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Could this be the one? Could this be the year of Rampage?
I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot with like working on patience and such. That's probably like my biggest downfall is like punting away and getting tilted. So, I mean, having like made one day 4 in my life, not in the main event, we'll see. But it's going to be a test of like patience and make it days 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a long tournament, hopefully.
I'm feeling good, for sure. I haven't deep ran this before because I think last time I played it was like 4 or 5, 6 years ago or something like that. But lots of deep runs and EPTs, so it's time for one in America now.
Yeah, we saw your tweet, so I'm looking forward to the kiss on the final table.
You're like one of 3 entrants, so you're a big favorite, honestly, if we make it.
All right, so we're here in the flip and go. Both of you have made it in the money. What was your strategy to get into the money?
Keep rebuying until we got through.
Okay, how about you?
Flip fewer times than Sean.
Flop a full house. I figured that would usually do the trick.
Yeah, I was, just gonna obviously play the flips really aggressive. Just kind of try to pick my spots, and on the 6th one, I finally ran into a hand.
Was it successful? You did?
Yes.
Okay. How many for you?
2.
And how many for you?
3.
Oh, okay. Not too bad either way.
I only had to flop 1 full house, so I only had to do it once.
Just 3, and then I turned the nuts into flush draw, and that was it.
All right,
Actually,
fair enough.
The real strategy is when the dealer has good energy, you ask her to pick your C card. And she picked
okay.
it. I told the table they were dead, and the whole table was dead on the turn.
What was your strategy to make it into the money?
To flip and then go play.
It's just such a prestigious event. I really had to lock in, got a good night's rest, ate well for a week or so leading up to it, and just came in focused, and luckily my efforts kind of prevailed.
All right, and how many flips did it take you?
I think 14, but I'm not sure.
You lost count.
Yeah.
Do you have a last longer in this tournament?
Basically, whoever goes out first has to go watch the kids, so we're both trying really hard to stay in.
That's high stakes. Yeah. That's high stakes. How many flips did it take you?
4.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for the strategy tips, and good luck in the tournament.
Thanks, man.
It's the most crucial time in any poker tournament. We spoke to previous WSOP main event winners for their advice on surviving the bubble. Here's what they had to say.
So for the WSOP main event, of course, the bubble is going to be pretty big. It's going to be, how many people? It's going to be like 1,500 people cashing or something like that, right? So At that point, like if you're on the actual bubble, like if you're really close to the money, I would play very, very tight unless you have a huge stack.
Just like any bubble, it's depending on like your stack size determines how you should be playing. So if you have a lot of chips, like obviously you should be really, putting the pressure on people. And I mean, it also depends on your table dynamic, just understanding how people are playing at your table, whether they're playing too tight, playing too loose.
Well, as a big stack, you definitely want to put pressure on, especially the middling stack. They're trying to squeeze into the money. The short stack as well, because it's such a big field. So the short stacks, got to play pretty tight and hope that other people bust, obviously.
If you have a huge stack and you have a possibility to like double up into chip lead, I would play it kind of like a normal spot, then it's not so much ICM. If you're like a small medium stack, there's a lot of ICM. But once, like, let's say you're playing second chip lead versus chip lead for like a ginormous pot on the bubble. Like bubbling that doesn't really matter if you have like a good equity spot to get the chip lead, because the chip lead is going to be worth so much than 20k, right? Like having a chip lead in that spot is going to be worth like hundreds of thousands in equity probably, right?
The bubble is, pretty important play. So if you're short, you have to be really tight and just, hopefully you squeak through or find your spots to win, an orbit here and there.
You can get in pretty nice situations if you don't care too much about the bubble and you have a chip leader as opening literally any 2 cards. And you can get some nice like reshoving spots and chip up that way on the bubble.
It kind of depends what your stack is, but in general, I would be very tight towards the bubble here because, let's be honest, someone's going to punt it off.
And we're doing a little update after the straight flush versus full house. Can you tell us how you're doing on day 3?
Still in the tournament, which is great. First table I had was really tough. I recognized a lot of the players from online and live, and I got moved, and I'm like, cool, I get moved, this should be better. And then turns out I'm playing this new table with Phil Ivey. So not better, but you play the hand you're dealt, and it's kind of exciting to play with Phil Ivey. I've never done that before. He has yet to really stare me down, although one time he kind of did, and then he pulled the earbud out and was like, I wasn't listening. I'm like, perfect, great. But yeah, it's a really cool experience, and I'm happy to be here.
Playing online a lot, do you feel like you'd have an advantage against Phil these days, or is he just a complete crusher?
An advantage against Phil? No, I don't think so. There's an argument that online players could be better than live players in an online environment, but he's got the home field advantage. He's going to stare, a hole through me, try to figure out what I have, and he'll probably do it. So I just have to hope to pick up hands, and he has slightly better or slightly worse. Slightly worse is probably what I want.
Would you say live and online is just completely different?
I think they're very different. Just the skill set that is required to beat each game. I do think there's a bit of disparaging when it comes to online from live players, and I think that's unfair, because again, they're very different. But so far my skills have transferred over. I'm still in the tournament and hope to make it deeper into day 4, day 5, etc.